Good evening and welcome to IDAC Presents Legends Who Built Our Nation. Our legendary guest this evening is architect Shashi Prabhu of Shashi Prabhu and Associates, a 5-decade-old organization that is now a legend in itself. Walking us down his journey is Mr. Praveen Nadkar, director and a critical member of not just SPA but also Architect Prabhu's life and growth.
Hi, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to witness this interview with a living legend in the field of architecture, Mr. Shashi Prabhu, a man who has made humongous contributions to architecture and who continues to inspire and motivate professionals around him to work and strive for perfection. Mr. Prabhu, also popularly known as Stadium Prabhu, for his inseparable association with Stadium Designs Pan India. Let us share his views, passions, and catch glimpses of his more than 5 decades long shining career as an architect.
Praveen, let me start my school beginning, and then I born in Shivaji Park, and then Shivaji Park is basically known for cricket. Cricket in general, cricket in particular, and you'll find most of the test players coming out of cricket field in Shivaji Park. So I was a young boy, being a young boy, always had some kind of aptitude towards the game of cricket. And I used to play cricket. And then I played my Harry Shield when I was in the 7th standard. And then I played Guide Shield also. That is in the Balmond Vidya Mandir. I'm Balmond Vidya Mandir student. I'm proud of that. Really, 5 decades I am doing my professional practice is something I have to believe now. The years really go and then fly back. And today, you got interviewing me and asking me how is my beginning. Why did I go to the architecture? See, I will tell you, narrate the whole story in this way that my father wanted me to be the commerce student. Why the commerce? Because he had an oil business, lubricating oil business, and he thought perhaps if I go to commerce, I'll be able to do his business as a carry forward legacy. But somehow it didn't work, and then after completing 1 year, I had to give it up, and then my choice was architecture. And I told my father that I would like to join architecture and be a professional in that field. Then which is the nearest place? There was Bharda High School, Academy of Architecture, JJ College of Architecture, and Bandra School of Art, teaching architecture. So I choose Bandra. because the nearest possible I'll be able to go and commute and come back. Our class hours were different, We used to start our college by 8:30 in the morning, where I learned to get up early, be ready, pack up, get into the bus, and then go to Bandra. And then college used to get over by 2:30. And then we used to learn, precisely myself, I can say that I used to be so dedicatedly and then connected with my professor that every word I would try to grasp and then take it within myself. And believe me, after completing the first year, when the results were out, I was first probably in the class.
Wow.
So this is something I can say that I wouldn't have achieved in commerce by any means. So after graduating, the issue came about working with somebody. I tried that. I joined another company, I don't want to name the company name, and worked for about 2 or 3 months. But I wasn't comfortable. I thought, let me do something of my own. Luckily, during that time, somebody offered me to design their bungalows in Khar. That was the first job. Believe me, in those days, computers were not there. So I used to work myself, draw, prepare some sketches, etc., show it to them, prepare municipal drawing, go to municipality, submit it, go to the printer where printing was done. It's not something today, you just put the computer and then you get a printout. And carry along with me and then go to corporation, convince the engineer and get the approval. But there were not so many impediments. Talking to engineers and getting approval was a matter of 3 to 4 days. So I got the approval of my bungalows in a matter of 4 or 5 days and I started with the work. Believe me, fresh graduate and then directly on the construction site. But whatever I did there, whatever I learned there, how to pour the concrete, how to mix the concrete is a great experience. And I feel that every student coming out of architectural final year should go to the site and find out what is real architecture, what you design and dream, how it is really get implemented. What is implementation process is different. Therefore, I always say that in the course and syllabus, an architecture syllabus, there should be a subject which teach you the detailing and then construction technology. What is construction technology? Today is modern technology. During my time, the concrete used to be poured, churn, and there used to be the grade. During our time, M20, 150 wasn't known. It was only known that this is a grade of concrete, this is good concrete, 1:2 and then 4, or 1, 2.5, or 1, 1.5, and 3. Means what? One portion of cement with sand, with whatever it is, 2, 2.5, or 3, and the 4 is to be, I may be wrong there, maybe 1, 1.5, 3 was the proportion for the cement, sand, and aggregate. So this is how I learned basically standing there, and used to really go to the process of actually construction. And this is where I learned, and then I was busy in that. And then subsequently people started, after doing the job, I said, how am I going to really get into practice? So I said, I have to initiate myself. So I started approaching different people. And during those days, we used to call it societies, but it is nothing but the self-development. I used to go to the different banks and then find out people who are interested to bring out some project of their own. And this was a cooperative movement, and which has really took up in those days. And people used to get the land parcel so easily without any much issues. Something like today's environment clearance, site clearance, and then municipal impediments, not impediments, but regulations and so on and so forth. The idea used to be only 3 lines that you shall be carrying out the work as per what you have mentioned and drawn. That you should be supervising the work and giving the completion certificate.
Oh, that was there.
That was there, and this is how I'm really tuned to work in that style. Subsequently, while doing that, suddenly a different issue came about me. My earlier professor for the commerce, Professor Chandralkar, he was discussing something with Sheshraji Wankhede, S.K. Wankhede, and then nobody knew that. But Mr. Wankhede had a vision and he had identified Lloyd's Recreation Ground, where we are sitting today, is Lloyd's Recreation Ground. And then he said to Professor that can you find out an architect who can design a clubhouse or similar type of structure? And Professor immediately realized that yes, there is a boy I know. Now he has completed his architecture, and then probably he must be doing small buildings here and there. He said, call him. So I was taken to Mr. Wankhede. Wankhede was a finance minister. Can you imagine my age and then standing before the barrister, more than a minister, barrister. And then he asked me first question, young boy, why I should really trust you? I said, trust, because I want to work and then I have gone to this field only because my aptitude and liking. He said, that's good enough for me. You are going to be the architect for this and you start.
Great.
But I didn't do that, starting off me. I thought I require some kind of assistance. So I telephoned one of my colleagues. He's no more in today's world. Subhash Akshikar. I said, Subhash, see, I have been given the opportunity to design clubhouse. You have any idea about clubhouse? He had recently come those days from UK. And he said, let's try. So he prepared some design, and then with that design we went to Mr. Wankhede. Wankhede said, okay, let's start. There it comes, as a serious business. Then we really came back and then tried to look into the plans and then the feasibility, what the club has to have, because club must have a reception, club must have a restaurant, club must have the rooms, club must have a bar, club must have the playing fields. All this we try to really assemble together. But I don't know, very sad thing that he died in between by a massive heart attack and I was alone. So that time I really didn't know what to do. But it suddenly struck me. By then my brother had come to India and he had joined with Mr. Senior Hadkar, and the name of the company was Hadkar Prabhan Associates. I went to Dada Hadkar, Ms. Kamal Hadkar's father, and I said, this is the first job. I would like to have a help. He said, Kamal will be always there with you. And believe me, Kamal and myself, but there is one thing Mr. Wankhede said, before you take the assignment, why don't you go and visit few of the stadium already built? So we were asked to go to Chennai and Bangalore. Those days we used to call Chennai as Madras. And then I see the Chepauk Stadium as well as the Bangalore Stadium. And then I said, yes, the stadium design we feel that is so easy. It's not so. Because you have to design the tier and everybody is witnessing the cricket match from all circular side and the focus is center. So it is always circular. So while designing the column, you cannot measure the horizontal distance of the column. It is at degrees. So we divided the entire Wankhede Stadium into 360 degrees and put 10 degrees.
Oh.
And accordingly we went on expanding, and therefore the column grid was decided. Okay. Ultimately there is a restriction because you have a column, then you have to have horizontal ties also. So Kamal said, yes, we can't go more than 10 degrees. And the distance was coming to almost about 30 feet. 30 feet means 30 inches depth stanchion. But he somehow managed and then reduced that depth of the stanchion. And we started the construction. Because it's happened that very few people know, today's people, that there was some kind of quarrel between the MCA president then, Sheshram Wankhede and Vijay Merchant. And the few seats, meager seats, because Wankhede Stadium wasn't there. So the all matches, first class matches, test matches were played in Cricket Club of India, Brigade Stadium. But MCA, being a, not MCA, BCA, Bombay Cricket Association, they used to get certain quota of 1500 numbers of seats in the North Stand. And that quota also was reduced. Wankhede became furious about it. He said, "You are reducing that quota even. Ours is the organization recognized by board BCCI. I can't bear that. I'm sorry." He came back. By then the World Cup clubhouse was on. Contractor was B. Billy Moria, very honest contractor. And he told us, "Boys, come here. Now we are going to have a stadium." That was really a shocking thing to immediately start preparing the drawings. So I could really think.
Oh, that's great.
Other than
It's one of your first huge projects.
huge. I was just 24-year-old.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering how you must have felt after the completion of the first huge project of your life, and do you think it had any lasting effect, or was it a turning point in your profession, or as in your personal life?
Yes. It was a cricket match, West Indies versus India. And somehow the Cricket Club of India, I'm told, wasn't really able to take it on, that they were losing the test venue. Because Wankhede was a test venue. And test cricket was the only cricket, was known. And people used to visit and come in the stadium and witness the cricket game for 5 days. So we played a cricket match. So naturally there was some kind of halagulla from the North Stand, and then people try to really go to the wicket and dug it up so that cricket match cannot be played. And the television never used to had so many cameras. But whatever was picturized was horrible. But my Mumbai crowd who love cricket, they went before them and cordon off the entire pitch. Somehow that they felt that these people are going to destroy the wicket. So wicket has to be protected. So they protected the wicket. Love for cricket.
That's true.
The wicket was protected, and the crowd then left out because police really hammered them. And then we came back. Then we had a meeting. Balasaheb Thackeray himself came that night.
Oh.
Besides Mr. Wankhede, our vice president was then the municipal commissioner, Mr. Albert Delne, and then he also joined. And some other office bearers then, like Paul Umbriger, Bapu Nadkarni, then Bisania. I remember the name, but they were playing cricketers. And we had a meeting, and then we said, this is what Lloyd, the captain of West Indies, doesn't want to give us the time. So if there is no time and we have to repair whatever is burnt, let's start the working. So the municipal commissioner, M.W. Desai, he said, don't you worry, I'll give the labor. Then Billy Moria said, I'll bring the wood, the benches, whichever may be, and they will cut, they'll saw it, and then between 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning, nobody had slept, and then there are about 1,000, 2,000 people working.
1,000 people?
Yeah, he bought that stand. And we are working, and then we completed everything except the painting, because the painting wouldn't dry, paint wouldn't dry. And then we had to number it, but we numbered it.
For the sale of tickets.
The sale of tickets, and the sale of tickets was done. And it was a full house, believe me, and the match was played. When Vijay Merchant, the commentator, came, he said, I can't believe this is what you guys have done. He called me at the commentator box. I had given a little talk about how we really did that. But basic aim and objective was the inspiration and dedication. It was the sports venue. I didn't want to lose that opportunity. And therefore, I cannot forget match and also the venue. Had to become Wankhede Stadium. This is what I remember.
So what effect it had on your professional career and on your personal life itself? Such a huge accomplishment of such a huge project.
Personal life, we say that, I had virtually forgotten my wife. because I was spending some more than 13, 14, 15 hours in this cricket ground. Because I had no choice, because this was the only work I had. And I had to really go and then prepare the drawing and then give it to contractors. And hats off to some of my colleagues there, Ashok Parker, then I remember Chetnis, then Vartak. All these boys were young, but we worked like a team. And under the guidance of Senior Hadkar, then his son Kamalakar Hadkar, Kamal Hadkar, we really worked as a team together and see to that his word to the entire cricket fraternity will not be dropped. We will do whatever possible and try to bring the structure up.
Actually, I'm very curious to know about what is your approach to design, as to how do you maintain a balance between functionality and aesthetics, and how do you deal with this?
Let me go from the sports arena to different line altogether. See, we started getting recognition as a only stadium designer, which I wanted to really remove from the minds of the clients and the minds of the people. So, which is the better avenue? Because beside housing, because housing is common, anybody can really get into housing. So I thought, why not to get into the healthcare and the hospital design? And believe me, those days I used to go and attend AHA, means American Hospital Association's conventions. And they used to guide, how to design the hospital, how to maintain the hospital, what are the protocols of the hospital, how the hospital works, which are the department, how to, take the crowd, how to disperse the crowd, what is the punctuality, what is the timing, each department has the functions, each room has a foresight, different kind of programs. And really, it is in-depth education. And whoever really knows the hospital, they can design any building in the world. Because hospital is so complex. It has patient, you have to take patient care. It has equipment by the side of patient. It has to have emergencies. And you have to rectify the person, make him at least able to walk and send him out healthy. Now this is just not possible to describe, so you have to have actual experience. So I went to a Dr. Gautam Seth, and then he gave me the protocols of his line. He's a medical doctor, surgeon. So we sat together, and my senior architect that time, Suhas Sahni, also learned along with me, because you have to have more and more people to know this new concept of hospital. So from the stadium, we built stadium, because I forgot to tell you that after designing a Wankhede stadium, there was a huge gap for me, and I was about to go in depression. But there comes a person from Thane, Satish Pradhan, his name.
Oh, yeah.
And Satish came with some, I don't know, he had nothing in his mind, but he came along with Balasaheb Thackeray.
Mm-hmm.
And Balasaheb Thackeray by nature, he said, what is that? You are thinking now to do. I said, it's a big void. Satish, why don't you create something for him? Build a stadium. Satish said, yes. Why not? But Satish said, how the cricket will be popular there? I said, we'll have a multi-purpose stadium. So Thane Stadium is not a particular circular, but is oblong. So we created that, and it is popularly known as Dadaji Konde Stadium.
Yeah.
But that job was created by Balasaheb Thackeray to me, and Satish Pradhan was then implemented. Thereafter, many other projects came in the stadium, and then we went on doing it. Then then Balewadi also came in between. First Balewadi I'm talking about, not the recently what you see. And then the Sharad Pawar was the chief minister, and I respect him. And I said, he called me and he said, I'm thinking of creating a sports complex in Pune. I said, Sahib, which is the site? He said, it is not within the site, in the same locality. You have to travel a distance. So then he told his colleague, Suresh Kalmadi, show him the site. So I went to Balewadi and I saw a terrain. It's shocking because if I was standing there, I could see a drop of 50 feet to 70 feet on the site itself. It's a challenge. So what I thought, why not to create different platforms at different heights so that we get at least sufficient area for the play field, which can't be just drop and something like that. So 150 acres we divided into different zones and then brought a plan, which liked by Sharadji Pawar, and there I started this Balewadi Sports Complex.
Yeah. I think the Commonwealth matches were played there?
No, Youth Commonwealth Games,
Huh.
earlier National Games.
Yeah.
To begin with, National Games in 1994. Another incident came. In between, there was an earthquake, and there was quite damage in the sense. But we again, Pawar Sahab said, nothing doing. We keep the work on. And I had to compliment my contractors, Baburao Shirke, Biji Shirke.
Yeah.
The man is his son, Vijay, used to stand there late evening and monitor the work. Today, people cannot believe this. I was used to stand because we had no option. This is what I went through. This is one of the Balewadi sports complex. Thereafter, we started getting many inquiries about sports complexes, national games. Then we got order from Hyderabad to do their sports infrastructure for the again national games. And then the minister there, chief minister there, he interviewed us and gave us a site in Gachibowli area. Surprisingly, I went to Gachibowli and I saw huge, massive rocks. So I told the chief minister, I said, this has got rock. He said, which is the better site for you? Whole Hyderabad is this way, this terrain is like this. It is absolute granite. You have to chief up and make it straight. And believe me, with my structural engineer and associate, Stoop India, we started working on that. And then really what we have created today is one of the best facility. There's a badminton hall, there is an athletic track, there is a velodrome, you name it, what is not there.
But you have built so many iconic structures. Which one of them is closest to your heart, or you think proud about the most about? So, can you cite any examples?
Worst, I would not name it as a worst.
Not best, I'm saying best.
Best. Best is is a very small building where I have, my inclination always goes there. And that is a small building of memory of Yashwantrao Chavan.
Okay.
YB Center, they call it. And earlier the name was Yashwantrao Chavan Pratishthan. But Pawar Sahib that time he said that people will shorten it to YB Center. It is YB Center. And I love that building, iconic building. How in front, what way it has come, I don't know. But my another colleague, Suhas Sahni, he worked out and then we designed a Laman, a typical traditional lamp, which is suspended from the top and is hanging there. Believe me, the weight of the actual lamp is marginal, nil virtually, compared to the chain we are providing. Chain is weighing something like 4 tons.
Why so?
Because of arresting the wind, this may rotate, but the chain will stop. Chain will not move. If chain start moving, the lamp will just do the tossing. And we did the podium there. Believe me, Pawar Sahab said the human scale is so small, so people should not go into the porch where the car goes there all the way. Another person comes and open the shutter and the boss goes out of the car and then get into his office. Here all are equal, all are same. Cars are parked outside and you go to platform, podium, and from there you go to different department. So there are good memories about that. And today you go there, I find at least 100 students are doing computer courses, different courses, academic courses, art courses. It is full of activities. Therefore I say I like that subject.
And see, actually, so many changes are happening in technology and in these municipal regulations, and so many new materials are coming into construction industry. And how do you cope up with that and these changes, and how do you deal with that? What do you have to say about that? Because since the time that you started in today's situation, there's a tremendous change.
Let me go back to this now. I see the theatres, for example, cinema theatre, etc. We have done the Dome, now called National Sports Club of India, which is a kind of a theatre. There's about 5,000 capacity and large arena, playing arena. And then when I designed it, it was designed by my son, Atul Prabhu, it's a different iconic structure. It is very difficult to get it. It is situated in such a strategic location. For the suburban people also it is good, for the city people also it is good. And believe me, every day is getting occupied. And it is difficult to create this kind of structure and run it successfully.
And what about these tall structures?
The tall structures, have very limited scope in the sense I have not done multi-story. But the few multi-story are really worth looking at it. We did something for IIT Powai, also another institution, and then we have gone to vertical buildings.
Okay.
There's
But
one
what are the
building.
challenges you think in design of such places? I mean, high towers, things like that. What challenges are there in designing challenges?
Designing challenge is more of a structural.
Okay.
Today we are designing a 50-story building for MLAs. Let's call it MLA hostel, Amdar Niwas, which is 50 story, and this is designed by my son Atul Prabhu. It's a challenge. It is 50 story, the dynamics change. The wind forces. The wind forces.
Okay.
The wind forces will swing the building either way, depend on the wind side, by a couple of feet, one and a quarter feet or something like that. So that aspect you have to design, because the two towers going together, one has a slightly higher wind velocity, other one has a slightly lower velocity. You will feel the difference that there is something shaking and moving.
Okay.
That movement is taking place everywhere, all the multi-story towers.
Okay.
They are designed that way. So challenges are coming to the core. The core has to be very important. So that once you design the core, then the other peripheral columns come important. This is a structural element, and then I made my basic engineering perfect so that it will be helpful for a structural designer to implement and design it, take it further.
So at the time of designing,
We have to think of a grid, we have to think of a build depth, we have to think of a mobility. And a hospital is such a critical thing. You have to take certain grid, and that grid has to be such a way that you have to think of a patient, you have to think of a ward, you have to think of a theatre, hospital, operation theatres, so critical areas. So this is what I learned.
your firm SPA has also an international presence with your office in UAE. You have also performed extremely well with 1500 residential projects to your name. How would you rate your experience in the international scene?
Let me tell you very openly and frankly that 1976 was a bad year for us because emergency was imposed in India. So we had no business. So I thought, let us go out. But how? It so happened that somebody from Dubai came to India. My neighbor Billy Muria, he approached Billy Muria because he knew Billy Muria. So Billy Muria brought that client to me. And then I still remember that that guy came to me and he told me that Shashi, would you like to come to Dubai? I'll be your sponsor. I said, why not? So his sponsor was Galadari Brothers. So my sponsor was Galadari. Now Galadari, it's a big company, big known people. So initially, when I was given the job to design their mother's villa, believe me, in those days, the fax was not available. Telephone connection was difficult. So how to send the data was a big challenge. But to the telex, I narrated whatever they have said, and that went to my partner Sharad Vaigurlekkar's office.
Okay.
Then he came to my office and narrated that by typing it.
Acha.
Then my people prepared a design for mother, and believe me, this was Sani, person working for me. He had flair for three-dimensional rendering, which Atul also has a natural instinct. So he prepared 3D views, which somebody carried all the way to Dubai and showed it to family. And family was so happy, oh, that's our mother's villa. Then why didn't you do our warehouse? A warehouse was a massive project. Believe me, this is how it starts. Then we are given a warehouse. After getting the warehouse, I said I require manpower. So I asked Ashok Parkar, who is now the partner and looking after my Dubai office.
Okay.
He took over. The day he came, my partner forgot the keys of the office building, residential apartment. We wanted to accommodate him there. So he slept in my office,
Oh.
directly on a floor. This is what I say sacrifice and an affection for a head. So this is a reciprocal arrangement. So I treat him like my son and then vice versa. So those who have worked with me in those days, they still remember me. One of my good friend, classmate, Praful Tipnis is no more. He died in 2006. He joined me. He worked with me. The another friend, S.S. Kulkarni, Shamkan Kulkarni.
Yeah.
He's there. He was there for right from our friendship is from the school days.
Okay.
Believe me, he is looking after my Pune job. All engineering, letter writing, issues erupting out of contract, to resolving them. He went to Goa to monitor the project. He went to Kerala to monitor the project. Today he is managing Pune office along with senior architect, who is also 60 plus now, Anup Vindekar. He is also working very hard. So what I'm coming at, somehow that I couldn't handle the amount of work we are handling right now. So my eldest son, Amar Prabhu came into India in 2005. And then initially I could understand his power. But he was really good in the management because he was managing for a very big company in America. So he decided, he and his wife came to India. And in 2005 onwards, he started sitting and working with me.
Oh.
And that has become really a good hand and support. Then we never looked back, to be very honest. Atul graduated, which year Atul? So 1995. Then he used to do the rendering, best rendering possible. Atul, Amol, and myself. And my wife also the partner, because she is commercial artist.
Okay.
So it was very difficult initially to accept wife as a partner in the company. But she was accepted by the tax department and then she became a partner of the company.
Oh, great.
Because she knows the interior designing.
Hmm.
Because she has done that course.
Okay. So now, what do you think about the state of our city and its future?
Our state, I can tell you, geographically, Mumbai city is north-south oriented. We don't have the enough width. Everybody knows that. Therefore, we are having a one road which is called sea link now. Why? Because it's not possible to have something to do on the present roads because there are buildings coming as an impediment. See, earlier buildings were planned with whatever population we had. Today, Mumbai's population over 2.5 crore. I don't know if that's the right figure or it is more than that. Because after designing and getting the survey of entire Dharavi area, we realized that people come there in rotation.
Yeah.
So if I estimate the population there is about 10,000, I'm wrong.
Not floating population.
Floating population. This is what the
They're not
Mumbai
permanent
is.
residents, but
Mumbai is. So I become, incidentally I forgot to tell you that during Sharad Pawar's time and Balasaheb time, I was given additional area, which is slum rehabilitation program. Balasaheb had an idea to create about 100,000 is not a number of apartments for a lakh of people. accommodation to begin with through the scheme,
Okay.
Slum Rehabilitation Authority.
Right.
And the authority was established. And then Chief Secretary was the head, under which we frame the rules and regulations.
Okay.
Today, whatever they are saying and whatever it is, this is done by one committee. And the entire credit goes to Bahasab Thackeray.
And what was your role in it?
I was one of the members. And I used to communicate everything, whatever is to happen in the meeting to Bahasab directly one to one.
And is it true that in framing of the regulations and things like that also you had a say?
It went to the journey in the sense all the secretaries from the law to the urban development to everything. All they were there. So people is to object, people is to again reassemble. If not, if this is not, then what is what? And ultimately the framed rules and regulations where book was published.
Okay. But is it the first such attempt in Bombay city or has it been done
No,
in
first.
So
Nobody had idea about establishing an authority for slum improvement and slum rehabilitation program. Because Bahasab thought that if you allow this kind of sanitation, filthiness, people will die of epidemics.
So what do you think is the state of this slum rehabilitation program today?
Today, this independent authority, they are working hard. There are various architects, they are specialized in that, and they are taking the program. It is not that easy to slum dwellers to agree upon. So it's a different kind of, language, different kind of thing. I started that, but today there are certain people who are expert in that. They have tenacity. Go into the slum and work there, and then convince the authority, get the plans approved, and start. But today, yeah.
Okay, so can you mention any memorable moments of your professional career or your personal life?
Moments you see, I got a mentor, Mr. Marketing, which is as I told you earlier. Thereafter, you see, I came in contact with Sharad Pawar. He is also my mentor. Okay. Bahasab came much earlier, but Pawar Sahib has really love and affection because dedicatedly I was working for Balewadi Sports Complex, Savan Center, and some of his projects. How many people know that Ravindra Kala Academy is Sharad Pawar's creation? He never said so. He asked me one day to prepare a 3D rendering, and he told me that to show it to the people. And that time the chief minister was someone else, Vilasa Deshmukh, and he approved it. And this is how the Kala Academy has
You
come.
have got a lot of connection with the institution connected with the cultural life of Maharashtra, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially theatres, whether drama theatres. It's something specialization because drama is something one-to-one acting in the platform by 30 feet by 30 feet is a limitation. You will ask me why, why you have created huge stage. Huge stage is also required where there is a ballet or something, dance program. But these drama people, poor people, they have to wind up their sets after the program and go to another theatre and perform. So they said by any means your aperture, means the wing, should not be more than 30 to 40 feet. So that's a restriction.
Yeah. And what do you think COVID situation now? Do you think it will have any lasting impact on future of architectural designs?
No, I don't think so. Because we don't want to compromise in our design. Design has to be well thought. Planning has to be really properly go through. Adjacency has to be maintained, whether residential, commercial, or healthcare, or whatever is the project.
But this kind of a social distancing awareness.
Awareness, etc., already has come now.
Yeah.
Even little child also is keeping the distance. Which anyway, the place where we are accommodating about 100 people, we are going to accommodate 50.
Yeah. So that
those are changes.
Some changes.
Dimensional changes will definitely come.
Oh, it will come.
It will come.
Okay. So another thing.
And secondly, very important is the ventilation.
Yeah.
In the hospital now, we cannot have the same area, same air to churn, recirculate. We have to bring the fresh air and also churn it, make it cool and comfortable. because that is the area which we said during COVID situation we are finding difficulty to get beds. Here, since 2008, I'm trying to do 5 hospitals for Mumbai Corporation. For base known to them, many people came. But now, Uddhav has taken the lead, Sharad Pawarji has taken the lead, and this government is taking it forward. I cannot forget even contribution of our earlier Chief Minister, Devendra ji,
Okay.
because he also put sufficient consultation. He gave a consultation and then told me that this is the area you have to look upon.
Any new exciting projects under your belt?
Exciting, excitement is everywhere because if you are doing something different, naturally. One of the projects we have undertaken, which is the urban planning for the cops. The cop after retirement, what are they? What is the accommodation for them? So there is a person who is IG police. He has taken in his mind that he will create a residential accommodation for all these retired or retired widows, the widows of the uh, person who is retired or is no more. And then we are building 640 square foot of carpet area apartment for these people in Panvel. And the project is really going in a good pace now. And soon we will be doing the Bhumi Pujan.
So finally, I would like to ask you a question about what would be your message for the budding architects today? I mean, with regards to the architectural practice and the challenges that there are before our urban design and our city. What would you say about that?
See, for the sake of fascination, don't draw something erratic lines. Because straight lines always work, straight line will always remain. The building will be easy to construct, building will be easy to maintain, and the people also will be comfortable. Imagine the square room will be more functional than the round suddenly somewhere coming in. You can't fit in the furniture. Rectangular is okay, but what I'm coming at 90 degrees angle for the wall, I would advise designers to first of all learn to take up a grid, decide what is going to be a grid, accordingly put the columns, imaginary columns. Shouldn't happen that you design something and subsequently column becomes an impediment, and you ask the structural designer do or die and then remove this column. Poor fellows are doing that way. Therefore, I am asking the budding architects who are studying, should know engineering also. And the engineering really takes over architecture subsequently. Implementation of job. If it is straight, clear, easy, and then you can finish up within the time frame. Otherwise, it goes on and lingering.
Okay. So finally, thank you, Mr. Shashi Prabhu, for taking out time from your busy schedule and sharing your views.
So it's a COVID time, and then everybody is free. To be very honest, so we happened to come to the office. We decided at least spend 3 days in our office so that we don't lose the touch of the office today. But we are something like 100 strong, and my both the children, they are working so hard and they are managing the show very well.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Bye bye.